What is self-doubt? Self-doubt is just a response to prolonged stillness in thought. Being still in thought is what they tell you to do to find the answer. I've mastered going through highs and lows. I'm not going to call it a depressive episode, but I want this name to be expressed here. It's like your system is self-destructing from within. You're conflicted. We can call it every name in the universe. Every diagnosis can be put in that same kind of box. I also just saw this reel this morning. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. I'm like, yep. Anytime you feel extremely lost, even when everything is objectively okay, it only is a reflection of you not being present and not being able to take action on thoughts that you know are right, only because you can't hear what's right. Inner conflict, right? Because externally, we meet our friends every day, we see our families, we talk to our partner, everything is okay. But internally, there is this, what am I doing with my life? What is actually happening? I'm responsible for this. I need to work on this, but I don't feel aligned with this. This is no longer me. I need to figure, you don't feel aligned in certain areas. You know that you need to take action. And what we've been taught to do is to seek counseling, seek advice, seek answers outside of ourselves. Read books, watch movies, talk to people around us, talk to therapists, watch YouTube videos, because we are so stimulated right now. And we basically wake up to infinite sources of information how to fix every problem in the world. Plus, every problem in the world is created by those systems that provide us these solutions. So it's even easier to fix those problems, So when you know that the fix to your problem is right there, you don't even want to fix it. So we are stuck in this state of, I'm not fixing this because I can fix it. So I'll fix this as soon as I'm done with all my school projects, work, this poem that I'm writing, 12 hours of scrolling. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna create a routine. Winter arc is coming. You know what I mean? You put off your life. You put off the decision that will make you happy. You seek out comfort from other people so they can reassure you of your truth that you already know. You literally answer your own questions while asking them. But there's so much noise around all of this thought that you lose track of this one glowing, shining star of a thought, of an idea, that you end up doing absolutely nothing. What is self-doubt? Self-doubt is just a response to prolonged stillness in thought. Being still in thought is what they tell you to do to find the answer. But when you start analyzing it for too long without taking any action, exactly the same thing that they tell us with the self-improvement videos. So you watch these videos all the time. You feel like you are contributing to changing your thoughts and rewiring your brain. And, this is a productive thing that you're watching right now. You're expanding your attention span. You're not, scrolling right now or changing the video. You committed to a long form video, but then you close this video. Your ideas are reassured. You're like, yeah, I'm doing this. This is great. She gets me. No one ever said that in this way. This truth that I came to myself makes sense. Yeah, I'm really doing it. And then you're not doing it. It all stops at the stage of comfort and mental clarity. I remember hearing this when I was just beginning my journey of asking questions, living life more consciously. When I was growing up, becoming a human. And I was like, what do you mean all the answers are within me? I brought that phrase everywhere I went. I was like, I'm the shit. I have my answers within me. Remember that era of TikTok when everyone was like a crystal fairy girl and, affirmations everywhere, hippie. And I was like, yeah, I have answers within me. I am the key. And then X reassured me with you are the key. No one else is the key. And I'm like, yeah, but I had no idea what that means. The thing is, this truth is so untangible, is so deep, and so natural that there's no way to explain it or define it. You have to feel it to know what it actually means. So you can repeat the affirmation of, I am always guided, but if you don't feel it, if you don't act on it, if you don't truly experience what it means, you will never know what it means. The same with love. It's those things like love and God and truth you can't really define. You have to feel and experience them. You don't need anyone's advice. You're just not present to hear yourself. Your inner self, God, is always talking to you. It can never move. You can move from it. You can pick other thoughts. You have free will to watch a video and not act on it. You have the key. You don't need to ask anyone for any answer. And I'm not saying isolate yourself, only focus on yourself and never get inspired or ask for support. guidance from people, because it's incredible that we have our own minds and we can just bounce off of each other's reflections of the same truth to find maybe a better path, how to act on it. But just please act on it. And I'm talking to myself fully, because I've noticed myself dwell on ideas and never act on them after coming to a truth. This is how I create those videos. This is why I have to force myself to plug the microphone into my phone and just really just talk. Just talk. Express how you feel. You know how people always comment under my videos like, you express something that I didn't know how to put into words. So there is some kind of an issue there, right? It's not like a problem, but there is a subject that this sentence was built on. I don't know how to express my thoughts. And you're putting me on a, maybe it's not a significant issue, but you're putting me on a little pedestal and you're like, you solved this issue for me. Why am I the random girl on your screen, a solution to a problem that you literally just express how to solve? Why am I becoming an idol for something that you literally just told yourself how to fix? You just told me, I don't know how to express it. So what you need to do is work on your expression. How about you write down your feelings? How about you just pick up a camera, talk to yourself without any thought of posting it? No YouTube, just not for anyone to see. Just to see where your thought leads. This video is insignificant on your journey to understanding your thoughts. This video has the same relevance as every thought in your mind that isn't your present moment, that needs to be acted on. It's just one of your thoughts, unless you pick the thought and you focus on it. So easy to say act on things, just do it. But when I started understanding, you know, when I talked about this in the beginning, I talked about the depressive episodes, something like that, just discombobulation moments, mental hiccups. In those moments, we usually seek God. We seek counseling. But that's for some reason inner counseling, right? That's for some reason us talking to something greater than us, because there's nothing left. What is God? I was working out. And I was like, well, I think I came to a definition, can't define it still, but like to a more structured definition that can be written down. God can't be defined like nirvana because it's more of an absence of things rather than their presence. It's easier to define God by saying what it's not rather than describing what it is. As soon as you attach certain words with different meanings to the word God, you begin to paint a picture with associations that are earthly and can't be attached to God because it's something else. So you have to strip away the words from the definition. You have to literally make the word absent of any definition to be able to define it. I think it's the only thing that can't be defined. Even just like the word creator is too earthly to understand what it actually is. Anyway, why did I say it? Because it's so difficult to just go and do things, to just act on your thoughts and ideas. What we can start doing is removing distractions from the word that you're trying to define, from a truth that you're trying to come to, from a feeling that you're trying to feel, from your goal that you're trying to achieve. You have to take things out of the equation rather than try to attach new ideas to them, create more thoughts, and possibly inspire more actions. Because if you can't do one thing, why do you want to create more things to do? For the past month, I've been growing closer to my faith and really building a relationship with God. I'm more than comfortable to say the word God, because I remember even a year ago, I was like, I don't know if I like to use that word, but I'm kind of, as I said, I took things out of the equation instead of adding associations to them. So I'm just using a word that doesn't paint a whole picture, but is just a word. It's difficult to talk about these things, but I'm learning. This is a process, okay? I need to find new ways how to put my feelings into thoughts and then into words to be able to create more value here. But this isn't coming from a place of, wow, my life is great and I'm growing in my faith, but rather I have been very distracted from the present moment. I unpacked this fully in my video, why high achievers are never happy and what is ego. You can check it out. It's like two videos before this one. What is a setback? It's a very long moment of stillness that was forced after a long period of movement in chaos, unpurposefully, unintentionally, or with some kind of not a clear purpose, right? Because you were set back for some reason. It's essentially a moment of stillness, right? So you sit in this moment of stillness and you have free will to do with your thoughts whatever you want to do with them. You can immediately act, which will possibly make you very tired. And I'm speaking from experience. So the best thing to do in the setback is to stay still, but not let your thoughts consume you. So literally the only answer is you are forced to meditate. You are forced to contemplate. You are forced to go through anxiety attacks. Through these major setbacks, you are forced to understand what anxiety actually is and how to deal with it. So love and hate it, but that's a part of the human experience. One thing though, as soon as you understand it, you have to act on elevating that process to a new action so you don't repeat the cycle. Setbacks are always going to be there because that's a part of the learning experience. You will move in a new direction with your learned lessons, you will pass tests, and then you will come across something new that you haven't seen and experienced. You will fuck up and you will be set back. And that's okay because you have this moment of stillness now to be like, okay, I got it. Let's move in a different way now. And then you move again. What ends up happening is we are stuck in this stillness for a very long time, and we are told that this stillness is wrong. We are told that this stillness is an illness, but this stillness is a place for your decisions to be made so you can move forward. And this stillness can be very long because you need this time to rest, and this stillness can be just a couple of days until you know when the time is right to move forward. But again, you don't need any counseling, you don't need any people, tarot cards, angels, spirit guides, gods to let you know when the time is right. Repenting for your actions that you feel like aren't right for you anymore is just taking action in a direction that you know is right for you. That's it. And there's no other way around it. There's no other right answer but to go to God and ask for the answer. There is no other right way to do it. Because that's what I call intuition. That's what I call the feeling. And also this past month, I've noticed for some reason people have been coming to me for advice. As if I know what you have to do with your life. But I'm more than happy to help all the time. I'm just like, wow, we really are all the same. Whenever I feel very in emotion, not centered, lost even, I feel very isolated in my truth. I don't trust my truth. I'm not present enough to hear myself talk. So we end up seeking advice from other people, systems, books. Try to remember when you were conflicted about something in your life, job opportunity or a decision, an argument, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Like, I have a feeling, but there's so much going on here. You message your friend what to do about this and how to respond to this. But all of this time, you literally know the answer. Like, just be honest with yourself right now. Just cut the bullshit. Literally, you knew the answer all along. In the beginning of the situation, you knew exactly how it's going to go. Even if you were praying to God and being like, oh my gosh, I really don't know what to do. I really don't know. Just give me a sign. You knew the answer already. You knew it. Imagine how much aura you could save by just acting on that decision right away instead of spending months thinking about whether it's right or wrong, or should I do this or should I do that, or should I take this trip, or should I take this job, or should I maybe take this course, should I drop out of school. You could just act on it and trust yourself. It's so much easier to give those examples within human relationships, but I'm going to give you an example with modeling. When you are a model and you're looking for an agency, you want to get jobs, like that's the goal, right? To carry yourself a certain way, to gain experiences, to gain certain skills, to represent an idea, to represent your brand and be a face of something bigger than you and work with creatives. You're looking for representation, an agency. You have to find an agency that fits you. Like shoes. I like Nikes, but I'm not gonna wear Nike size 37. I'm not gonna resell it. Yes, it costs money. Yes, it's cool. It looks cool. It's a pretty shoe. I'm not going to take this opportunity and spend months trying to resell this shoe just because it's a shoe and it's going to give me money. I want to wear the shoe. I want to use it for me. That was such a weird metaphor. I'm looking at the person's communication skill. I'm looking at their attitude towards me, their intention. First of all, on how big the agency is and how much they can provide for me, the models that they're signed with, the models that are signed with them. The companies that they work with, the campaigns that they did. What were the biggest runway shows that they casted models for? I'm looking at all those things and I'm reevaluating if it's worth it to sign with them, to spend my time on building my image with them. And after Paris, after Paris, I took a long pause and recentered myself. It was summer. I was like in a haze with all the YouTube stuff. I was trying to grow. I had different priorities. But then I locked in around August, and in September I went to London Fashion Week. And that was a wave of progress for me in modeling. I got recognized and noticed, and like I had job opportunities. And it was a very new experience for me because I had to say no to some agencies only because I felt like it. I've been so focused on modeling, and I felt like if I only had that one chance to get signed with any agency, like I would just take it. And as soon as I got that chance to be signed with any agency, I didn't take it because I understood how accessible it is to me now, how much value I have accumulated, and how much more precious my energy and essence is around those spaces. And it's not just with jobs, but I'm talking on my experience of a modeling opportunity. I see how much value I brought to a space and how much potential I have there. So looking at an agency that I know wouldn't provide me the same opportunities, I just have to say no. And I know that they're cool, and I know that it will work and I will have jobs, but the shoe doesn't fit. You see what I mean? And logically, this decision doesn't make sense because they are not bad. The agency isn't bad. The opportunities that they provide aren't bad. It would give me more opportunities to grow, but I just know that it's not for me. I just know that there's something better. If I asked someone for advice or asked someone to tell me what to do or make the decision for me, I know that they would take the opportunity because it seems like the logical step. It seems like something that I was working towards. It seems like something that will progress me in my career. But no, I feel resistance. And this is the stillness that I'm not spending too much time in, even though I'm not actively taking action in some kind of a, decision-making process. I'm not like, okay, I made a decision, I'm moving, but I'm still not spending so much time in this stillness that I'm conflicted and I really don't know where to run. I made a decision. I feel like this is not for me. I'm not thinking about this anymore. This is how action is manifested in this scenario. The same with relationships. As soon as you start to notice that you have doubts and you don't know what to do and you fear and you feel anxiety and all of that, this is when you have to not stay in this stillness of chaos for so long. Stillness is good. Stillness in thought is good as long as you are observing it and not identifying with all of those thoughts. Picking one productive idea out of all of them, one productive thought, so we can flow forward with it and not stay in this stillness of observation and analysis for so long. Analysis paralysis, right? Let me find that quote. I just read it like yesterday. Layla Hermosi, he said it here. Lessons I wish I knew 10 years ago. The speed at which you make decisions sets the speed of the business. That's why I like movement, like little physical movement. I like gym. I like running. Oh, running is my favorite out of them all. I mostly train for endurance and I mostly train for mental clarity. And for aesthetics, obviously, but that's like more Pilates and yoga and strength training with my own body weight. But why I love it? Because it forces you to go into action when you don't want it. Like, I force myself to want it. We have to take over the animal brain and animal body with the power of consciousness. And so that's what I'm forcing myself to do. I force myself to like it, to crave the challenge and to crave the uncomfortability. So I can flow through this decision making without getting stagnant in stillness for too long. I haven't cold plunged in a while. I've been cold showering. That was my cold exposure of choice for a while now. Because the bucket that I bought for cold plunges, we use it. I had to lend it to my parents for rainwater. So I'm going to clean it up and fill it up with water again for the winter season. Again, I love when every self-improvement video comes back to one of those three things. Either it's balance, presence, or gratitude. This one is present. So you need to be present to hear yourself because you're always screaming the right answer in your mind. It's actually super loud. All you have to do is just sit in stillness, but not for too long, and take action. The more time you spend thinking about taking action or whether you should or shouldn't, the more space you create for alternative results that are different from the goal that you're trying to achieve. Just try.